Waiting. Ah. Hi, namaste everybody. Good to be back in the saddle again. So, I don't know if I told you when I was in Europe, July and August, how many people came up to me to tell me how much they enjoyed Thursday nights and how important it was for them over the course of the pandemic. It was very heartwarming. I mean, people all over Europe were coming up and telling me things. Most of them would watch it on the replay or later in the day, on their time. But it was quite amazing to, it's a much larger group than we think is here at this moment. We're all sitting pretty much in our own little bubbles, but there's a big bubble over all of us. So. Pranavam pavanukuma kalabana pavaka jnanagan jasu hridayaga basai ram sarachabadhar atulita baladhama hemashela badeham dhanurjavan Krishna Jnani nama gaganyam sakala guna nidhana vanaranam disham raghupati priya bhakta atajatam namam Voshpadi kritavardisham mashiki kritarakshasam Ramayana Mahamalatna Andenilatmajam Anjananandaram Veram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapisamaksahanta Andelanka Bhayankaram Viranga Sindho Salilam Salilam Yashokavahi Janakatma Jaya Adathane Dadahalamkam Namamitam Pranjali Ranjanayam Manojavam Marta Tulya Vega Jitendriya Buddhimatam Vardishtam Vatatmajam Vanarutamukyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Anjaneya Multipatalan Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham Parijata Tarumula Asana Bhavayami Pavamana Nandanam Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtana Tatra Tatra Kritamastakhanjali Vashpavare Paripurna Lochana Martinamat Rakshasantakam Varabajaranga Bali Hanumana Ki Jai. Sitaram, 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 yeah, Sitaram. 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 Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram Jai 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram Jaya 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram Jaya 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, Nitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Nitaram, Nitaram, Jai Jai, Nitaram, Nitaram. Nitaram, 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 Sitaram Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, 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 Sitaram Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 yes, Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram Krishna. Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Rama Krishna Hare, Jai Rama Krishna Hare. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. 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 Sitaram, 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 yeah, Sitaram. Karoli Baba Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karoli Baba Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karoli Baba Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karoli Baba Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karoli Baba Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karoli Baba Shri Ram Jai Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Namo Gurudev. Nim Karoli Baba Namaha. Om Namo Nim Karoli Baba Namami Shamisha Nirvana Rupam Vibham Vyapakam Brahma Veda Swarupam Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Chitakasham Akasha Vasam Bhajeham Nirakaram Onkara Mulam Turyam Kiragyana Gotita Misham Girisham Karalam Mahakala Kalam Kripalam Gunangara Samsara Param Natoham. Har Har Mahadev Shambho Kashi Vishwanath Gange. Har Har Mahadev Shambho Kashi Vishwanath Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambho. Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gangera. Hara Mahadeva Shambho Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara Hara Okay, we'll start again. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Bam Bam Mahadeva Shambho. Hara Bam Bam Mahadeva Shambho. Hara Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Hara 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 Mahadeva Shambho. Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambho. Kashi Vishwanatha Gange. Chanting Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jaya Bhutarti Harini Jaya Sarvangate Devi Kalaratri Namostute Madhukaitab Vidravi Vidatri Varade Namaha Rupam De Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Tuisho Dehi Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Tuisho Dehi Mahishasura Niranashi Bhaktanam Sukade Namaha Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Tuisho Dehi Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Tuisho Dehi Esobhagya Arogyam Dehi me paramam sukham rupam de jam de yasham dehi visho dehi rupam dehi jam dehi yasham dehi visho dehi Dehi Devi Kalyanam Videhi Paramam Shriyam Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Krisho Dehi Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Krisho Dehi Devi Prachanda Doradanda Daitya Darpa Vinashini Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Krisho Dehi 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 I wanna know what love is. Want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. No, you can't show me. I wanna know what love is. No, you can't show me. I wanna feel what love is. No, you can't show me. Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Krisho Dehi Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Krisho Dehi I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. No, you can't show me. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. No, you can't show me. Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Krisho Dehi 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 I wanna know what love is. want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. No, you can't show me. I want to feel what love is. Want you to show me. I want to know what love is. No, you can't show me. Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Drisho Dehi 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 Rupam Dehi Jam Dehi Yasho Dehi Drisho Dehi. Let's take some questions now. Okay. So let's see. October 21st, there's a fundraiser, Saving the Wild Elephants, and Katie is the special guest. That's in New York City. Then the next weekend is our weekend at the Upper West Side Church, the church I always call Church of Peter, Paul, and Mary. And 2 nights and a workshop in chanting Hanuman Chalisas with Nina. Then the next month in November, we go out to Maui and we're doing a public kirtan and then the retreat that we used to do with Ram Dass. That's sold out pretty much at this point. I think it was sold out in about a minute and a half once it was open. And then the next, the first week of the new year, December 31st to January 7th, I'll be at Blue Spirit in Costa Rica. And myself and Jai Utal and I don't know who else. So all that's on the krishnadas.com events. Can I please discuss the relationship between fate and destiny and karma, and how they correlate with the teaching that everything is happening just as it should be? Thank you. Well, it's a nice, easy question to start out with. First of all, anything I say, who knows if it's true? I'm going to repeat things I've heard, things that sound right to me. If they don't sound right to you, no problema. This is a big question. Everybody, this is, when we think about life, the question of what we call fate, which is not a good word because it implies something is fixed and solid and can't be changed, which is not karma. The essence of karma, the laws of cause and effect, are that this moment we are creating karmas. And so we're always creating, let's not say creating, we're always planting seeds that will grow in the so-called future because of our own actions and thoughts and feelings and emotions and etc. Every action, every thought is a karma, which has an effect at some point or other. So if things are, whatever it is right now, on one hand, is the result of the past, of our own karmas, and the group karmas, the karmas of the world, the karmas of the time we're living in, then the karmas of our culture, then the karmas of our family, then our own particular personal stuff. So that can't be changed because it's here. It's in the moment. Now that's what's happening. What can be changed is how we react and meet everything that arises in this moment. The more we fight with things and try to and get angry at things and piss and moan about things and get depressed about things, and as a result don't plant the seeds of what we want, which is happiness, which is love, which is reality, then this will just keep going on like a wave that's floating, that has no obstruction. But if that wave crashes over us and we don't push back, then that wave loses its energy, or his energy dissipates. So like this moment is like waves coming off the ocean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles away, of a storm out there. And those waves started coming, and they're still coming. They keep coming. How we live in the moment, how we deal with all that stuff, that's really important. And the point is, if there was no cause and effect, if we don't accept the laws of karma, then we also don't accept responsibility for our actions. Then we don't take responsibility for our actions. And we feel victimized, and we can lash out in anger and hatred and never understand that we're creating more negativity for ourselves. If we don't understand that, we keep on doing it. So, so that's a little bit about that. They say that no one but a fully enlightened being can understand the laws of karma because it's so vast. I mean, think of all the things, the thoughts you have in a day. Think of all the interactions you have in a day, whether online or in daily life, physical life. Now multiply that by all the people in the world. A lot of stuff going on every day. A lot of seeds being planted. So simply, if we want to be happy, we're going to have to plant the seeds of happiness and love. And love comes from love. Love can't come from anger. Anger comes from anger. Shame comes from shame. Fear from fear. Grief from grief, etc. So we don't need to push away what's in this moment, because that's here. It's arisen in our being at this time. You can't say we've done it and now I'm going to not do it, because you didn't, who we think we are, didn't do this. Our bag full of karma created this. And so one always has the option of doing practice, of recognizing the situation, of trying not to be reactionary, and to become aware of our knee-jerk reactions to things. It's not easy. But in order to help that, we need to slow down a little bit. And that's probably a lot of what practice is about. And of course, the most important thing, or let's just say one of the most powerful karmic actions one can take that would change the nature of the way we go through our days and what we create for ourselves over time, is to cultivate loving kindness and compassion, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. I remember when I first started getting into all this stuff, I thought all I have to do is meditate. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. People don't matter. Life doesn't matter. All I need to do is meditate for me, 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 me. Probably not accurate. It seems from everything I've been exposed to in all these years, it seems like the most powerful practice is to treat other people the way we would like to be treated. And that's very difficult. And mostly, it's kind of hard to believe how important that is. I know I didn't think about it for a long time. But all my teachers talked about that. All my elders talked about that. And now I think that that's really very important. And to get the strength to do that, one has to cultivate those qualities of sensitivity to others, of awareness of others, and also of what's running and pushing us around inside. And for that, we need practice. How long did it take till I could recite the Hanuman Chalisa by heart? I find it incredibly difficult to learn a text in a language that I don't speak. First of all, you don't have to memorize it. It's not a test. You can read it. You can recite it. You don't have to have it by memory. After you do it a few million times, you'll probably remember it. But what's the hurry? You can always have that little piece of paper around somewhere, or on your iPad or on your phone, and you can read it. And yes, if you don't speak Hindi, if you don't know anything, if you're not familiar with the sounds in Hindi, it can be very difficult, no question about it. There's two ways to look at it. One way is from the conceptual way, that this is the story of Hanuman and Hanuman's qualities and the recitation of the things that he did in the Ramayana, the story of Ram, and to get some understanding of what it's about is a good thing. But on the other hand, it also has a mantric quality, because Maharaji said to us that every line of Hanuman Chalisa is Maha Mantra, the great mantra, the name of God. So that means it has a mantra quality, which is a powerful thing. But like I said, there's no reason to torture yourself trying to memorize something like this. Just keep reading it and do it fully, do it consciously, do it with awareness, what you're reading. Bring some juice to it. Recognize that you're entering into Maharaji with this chant. And he's transmitting his presence to you with this chant. And that's happening. And the more juice you have in what you do, the more you feel it. And if you want to get a better leg up on the pronunciation, the book that I wrote called Flow of Grace, which is about chanting the Hanuman Chalisa. At the back, there's 2 CDs. One is like 5 or 6 versions of the Hanuman Chalisa, and then one is the slow, word by word, phrase by phrase recitation in good New York Hindi. And that can help you get an idea of the sounds. It's tricky. And we'll never probably get it right, because we don't speak Hindi. All the sounds are foreign to us. But if our intention is sincere, everything will be cool. Did I know Yogananda? Didn't he die in 52? I was 5. Somebody says, what do you say to just basically be quiet and pay attention? I say, give it a shot, see what happens. It's not so easy. And that doesn't work for everybody. Some people feel, some people are drawn to that, other people aren't. One way is no better than any other way. The best way is the one you take, you do. Is Neem Karoli Baba the same who stopped the train when the conductor asked him to leave because he didn't have a ticket? Yes, that's Neem Karoli Baba. I've been there at that spot where the train stopped. There was no station for a few miles, and the villagers were having a hard time getting their produce to market. And one day, Maharaji was riding on a train as a young man, a young sadhu. And in India, sadhus never buy tickets. They just get on the train, and the conductors usually don't hassle them. It's one of the things that goes on there. I don't know about these days, but certainly in the old days. So he was riding on this train, and of course, he was riding in the first class compartment with the English people, where English people paid for their tickets. And the conductor was an Anglo-Indian. He was like an anglicized Indian. And usually they felt very superior to the other Indians. And he came to the compartment and found Maharaji sitting there. And he accosted him. He said, what are you doing here? And he said, where's your ticket? Why are you here? You can't be here. Whatever. Maharaji just ignored him completely. It's almost as if he didn't even hear him. He was just immersed. So the conductor got furious and dragged Maharaji off the train. So Maharaji went over and sat down under this tree a little distance away. And then everybody gets back on the train. The conductor says, let's go. The engineer pulls the thing that it should go, and nothing happened. It did not move. Somebody told me that even though the train didn't move, the wheels were going around, but the train wasn't moving. I don't know. Maybe not. But somebody told me. So people, they all got off the train. What's wrong? Checking this and checking that, and finally nothing worked. And one of the porters on the train said, "Saab," to the conductor, we people believe that these sadhus have powers. Maybe you should apologize to that sadhu that you threw off the train. And at first he didn't even want to hear about it, but after a while they couldn't get the train going. So he walked over to Maharaji and he said, "Baba, I'm sorry that I took you off the train like that. I apologize, but you had no ticket. I had to do my job." And then Maharaji shook his dhoti, and hundreds of tickets fell out all over the place. He had fun. He liked to have fun. And so the conductor, got very, very humble immediately. And, "Oh, Baba, please, I'm sorry. Please, excuse me. Please let the train go." So Maharaji said, "Well, the villages around here are having trouble getting their produce to market. If you make a station here, then the train can go." So the conductor said, "Baba, I can't promise, but I promise you I'll try to get a station made here." Maharaji got up, and then he walked off into the jungle, disappeared. The station is called Lakshman Das Puri. Puri means place or town, something like that. And Lakshman Das was the name that Maharaji had at that time. So, and it's by the village of Neem Karori. And so later on he became known as Neem Karori Baba. Neem Karori is the same as Neem Karori, just slightly different dialect. I feel very drawn into mantra and puja devoted to Kali Ma. Do you have any advice regarding sadhana devoted to Kali or personal experiences in working with her? There's two ways to approach this kind of puja, these kind of practices. The most safest, most efficacious, and juiciest way is to approach the deity with love. And any of the mantras you do, any of the puja you do, it should be filled with love and devotion. But there are other practices that are very much about power, and I don't recommend those because we have enough problems. And creating more by giving ourselves more power, the wrong kind of power is what usually comes to us, ego power, is a very it's not a good idea. But when you approach the goddess or any deity with love and humility and the idea of surrender, then you're in good shape. But if you approach any one of the deities with secret desire for power or unconscious need to make yourself feel good and get something, then you could easily create a lot of problems for yourself. So someone says, "I heard you on a podcast with Dr. Robert Svoboda. What is your honest opinion of Aghora?" Aghora. I assume you mean the practice of Aghora, not the books Aghora, which are about his teacher who practiced Aghora Tantra. Aghora means beyond form. It means, Ghora, I think, means fear. Ghora, Ghora, Tarevya. And Aghora means fearless. And what it tends to mean is doing practices, severe tantric practices, meditating on corpses in the middle of the night in the graveyard, not for everybody. But if you really read his books, he over and over again, he talks about how much his teacher loved Tara, the goddess Tara, and how much he loved Krishna and Ram and Hanuman. And he referred to Hanuman as Anjaneya, which is the matriarchal way of talking about Hanuman. His Anjani is his mother. Anjaneya means Anjani's son, instead of Kesari Nandan, who was his father, or Pavananandan, who was the wind god. He preferred, because his teacher was a great Shakta, a great devotee of the goddess. And so he referred to Hanumanji as Anjaneya. So I think everything in those books is true. I feel they are. I don't do those practices. I don't know what Robert does. He talks about them. I don't think you can do those practices without a close relationship with a teacher who knows what they're doing. But the philosophy that he reveals in those books and the ideas are fantastic. The second half of the second book is all about the rishis and the siddhas and like how the universe is organized and run on a daily basis. It's amazing. And the third book is the laws of karma, which are presented in such a unique way. Really wonderful. At least I find them that way. Robbie's great. Really amazing. How to generally forgive yourself and heal when the damage is done and that damage is great enough that the point in living is gone. What's the point of living? And where does it go? Somebody, you're hurting. You're feeling tremendous pain and depression and whatever damage, I don't know what you're talking about, what you've done to yourself or someone's done to you. And that's filling this moment with clouds of suffering. And it's very hard to feel good in any way, or to feel or have any hope that it won't always be like this. A lot of people, including myself, have gone through much of that kind of suffering. But everything changes, everything passes. But we identify we are so glued to our emotions and our feelings, and we're so glued to the self-hatred that we have, that it's very hard to give ourselves a break. No question about it. What are you going to do? That's this moment. It doesn't mean that the next moment will be exactly the same. It won't be. Whatever seeds came to fruition that created this moment, it's our job to release the feelings again and again, let go, and just let the breath come and go. The breath is going to come and go by itself. You don't have to believe in any point of living. You just want to be happy, and you don't think you will be, ever. I remember when I was going to kill myself in the temple, Maharaji laughed, looked at me and laughed. He said, "What are you going to do? Jump in the river?" Ha! He said, "You can't die. Worldly people don't die. Only Jesus died the real death." What is he talking about? And then he said, he never thought of himself. He gave his life for his people. He tried to die, but he became immortal. And then he said, somebody dies and people stop eating and drinking and crying, but they're crying. And then after a few days, they're eating and drinking and laughing again. He said, one attachment replaces another attachment, one after the other, after the other, after the other. That flow of attachment is this world that we live in. There's nowhere to go in this world where there won't be suffering of some kind. Once you understand that, then you stop trying to change everything. And you can slip in underneath those clouds, and you can find some space in those clouds. We were talking about taking responsibility for your feelings and your actions. Whatever created this situation came from you not taking responsibility for your actions. And you just did things, and this is what happened. When you take responsibility and pay attention to your actions and understand that joy, goodness, love, kindness, compassion, caring, peace of mind comes from that, and shame and guilt and anger and depression and fear and hatred comes from that. Then you try to get over to this stuff and allow more of that into your life. The problem is, apparently, killing oneself is not an answer because you don't die. Your body goes away, and your essence, whether you call it a soul or whatever, takes another form. So you might as well work with what you have now. Next time you might not have these abilities. The greatest ability is self-awareness, knowing that you're here. And if you know you're here, you can clean up your room. If you don't know you're here, like most people in this world, they can't help themselves at all. And they keep creating more suffering for themselves and everyone they come in contact with, regardless of their intention. So the gift of being a human being is having self-awareness. Maybe other beings do, but they say mostly the thing about being human is that we have this ability to recognize being here and recognize, work on, see who we are, and eventually find out really who and what we are. Underneath all the clouds of emotion and pain and suffering, you're still here. You'll always be here in one form or another. That's what they say. They're usually right. How many times a day is it best to sing the Hanuman Chalisa? As much as you can, as you feel pulled to. Some people do a lot of chalisas every day. Some people do 11. Some people, especially in India, some of them do 108 chalisas every day. I don't know how they do that, but some people seem to do that. The point is, when you do any practice, really try to be there. One good chalisa is better than 11, without paying attention, doing it mechanically. Learn how to be with what you're doing and learn how to connect with the Chalisa and Maharaji and Hanuman. Okay, that's it for today. We believe the stories we tell ourselves. We totally believe them. And that person who was talking about living or not, you believe the story that you find you think you find yourself in. And most of us do that. Most of us are caught like that. But as you grow, as you continue to go through experiences and search for a deeper reality, a more loving presence in your own heart, you don't always believe those stories that we tell ourselves so much. And when we do, it doesn't last that long. Saraswati Namaha Om Aim Saraswati Namaha Om Aim Saraswati 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 Namaha. Saraswati Namaha. Saraswati, Saraswati, Saraswati Namaha. 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 Saraswata Namaha Om Saraswata 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 Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamanu Mukuru Sudhar Varanara Gubara Vimala Jasu Jodayaku Palachari Buddhin Tanu Janike Sumeron Pavanakuma Siaram Balabuddhi Vidya Dev Mohi Harahu Kales Abhikar Siyavara Ramachandra Padaye Sharanam Jai Hanuman Kyana Guna Saga Jai Kapisati Hum Loka Pujaga Ramaduta Tulita Baladama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanam Mahavir Vikrama Bajrangi Kumatineva Sumati Kesangi Kanchanavarana Viraja Subesa Kananda Kundala Kunshita Kesa Atta Bajra Ura Dvaja Viraja Kandhe Munja Chane Usaja Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandana Teja Pratapa Mahajagabam Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatu Ramakaja Karibe Koatu Prabhu Charitra Sunibe Korasya Ramalakhanna Sita Manavasya Sukshma Rupa Dare Siya Hindekava Dikata Rupa Dare Lanka Jarama Bhima Rupa Dare Asura Sanhare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Sanwari Lai Sanivan Rakhana Jiyaye Shri Raghavira Harsh कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय परताई समभाई। सहस बदन तुम्हारो जस गावे, सकहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीस, नारद शारद सहित हीस। यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहान से, कभी को विद खाए सके कहां थे। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवाई कीन्हा, राम मिलाया राजपद दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण मान, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जान। युग सहस्र योजन परमाणु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जान। प्रभु मुद्रिक मेले मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गाए अक्षर जन्माहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लाहे तुम्हारी शरण, तुम रक्षक काहू को धरण। आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीर। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साज। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोए अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता, सवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दास। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल भुवर पुर जाए, जहाँ जन्म हरे भक्त कहाए। और देवता चित्त न डरई, Hanumat se sarva sukha kare sankat kate mite sab phira jo sumere Hanumat balabir jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa karo Gurudev kinai Jo shatabara patta kara koi Chutahi bandi mahasudha hoy Goya pare Hanuman Chalisa Hoya siddhi saki Kauris Tulasi das Sada Harichera Ki Jainata Hridaya Mandira Pavanatanaya Sankata Harana Mangalamurati Siyaram Ramalakhan Sita Sita Hridaya Vasa Surabhupa Siyavara Ramachandra Padadye Sharanam Mangalamurti Marutanandan Sakala Amangala Mula Nirkanda Mangalamurti Marutanandan Sakala Mangala Mula Nirkanda Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Sitaram Jai Sitaram Sitaram Jai Sitaram 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 Jai Jai Sitaram 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 Jai Jai Sitaram Sitaram Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Bajarangi Jaya Hanuman Sankatamochan Kripanidhan Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Sankatamochan Kripanidhan Jai Siya Ram Jai Baba Hanuman Karuna Sagara Kripanidhan Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. 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 Much love, many Ram Rams, Namaste. Take good care. Next week, won't be here. Yeah, we're going out to Arizona to do a program at an incredible Tibetan Lamas center, monastery center. Garchen Rinpoche. There's an incredible documentary about him called For the Benefit of All Beings. And I think it's on Netflix. For the Benefit of All Beings. This is an incredible being. So we're very blessed to be invited out there to chant and hopefully get to see him a little bit. He's very, very old. So take good care, be well, see you soon. Okay? Ciao.